but it like right down to Coach Corn. I already hit him, so now I'm just gonna give him a big hug.
Oh. So obviously, scaling up your life is going to be taking part, and as we talked about yesterday, making a commitment to be in this room every single morning. I mean, seriously, I'm going to bring some heavy breakfast. Get the bacon out, get the sausage out. So, coming to this room every day and scaling up your life. I've talked on past calls about systems, right? Tony was mentioning systems and doing that daily mundane. And then the 80-20 rule, 20% of what we all did yesterday was responsible for 80% of our results or our income or whatever it was, right? So if I want to take it to the next level and scale up, I can double those results just by adding another 20% of my day and do that 20%, 40% of your day. You can actually double your results. So, who's been speaking to me in my head since we started this room and this topic is Mr. Gerber, Michael Gerber from the E Myth book series. And he just made a profound statement. So, let me just kind of run through this. And here comes the sausage. You can have a will to scale up your life. And when you find the way to scale up your life, then you need to know your why. And this is Gerber talking in my head. So just imagine his voice happening right now. And there's got to be a reason why you're going to do it beyond just the money of it. The reason for doing it is absolutely critical. It's called your why. If you've got the will and you know your why, find that way to produce those results every single time or to hold you accountable to that 20%. And here's what Tony kind of started the room out with. The problem is we're all making everything way more difficult, way more complicated than it needs to be. Everybody's making it more sophisticated. Everybody's making it more than what it is. In fact, what you're really looking for when you want to scale up your life and you want to systematize and do that mundane, do the 20%, it's got to be mechanical. It's a mechanical exercise. It's a ritual. It's daily. It's like getting up and doing breathing exercises, brushing your teeth. It's like the way you shower every single day. It's regular, regular, regular. And like I said, this is Gerber. Just hear Gerber talking because I hear him say this to me all the time. So it's what you have to do every single day, not just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but every single day. And it's ritual. It's ritual like the U.S. Navy SEALs. It's literally as ritual and fundamental as anything anyone has ever done or ever will do to become a master at anything. And we got to be accountable to that. I create those systems for that 20% to have me do that mundane stuff, and I'm accountable to the system. I just told somebody yesterday that task list in the morning is my boss. So here's Gerber again. Here's why you don't do it or why you won't do it, because you really don't have the way. You say you do, or the will. You don't really have the will. You say you do, but look, this could speak to everything that you've ever seen. On Tuesday, let's just say you get a great idea on Monday. On Tuesday, you're not going to want to do it. On Thursday, you're going to forget you even heard about it. And on Friday, you're going to be on to something that you think is way better, sounds cool, whatever. And this is because we are all wandering. We're wandering looking for this thing that's going to just take us there. So you got to come back to you. You got to come back to the first step. Without the first step of getting that system and becoming ritual and doing all that stuff, there really is no future for us. And this is Gerber, and he can be very straightforward, and he gets to be that way at 86 years old. He'll tell you there is no future other than a dismal one of never, ever, ever rising to the occasion. And so are you going to, he'll challenge you to say, are you going to commit yourself to never, ever, ever rising to the occasion? Or are you going to commit yourself to literally becoming a star, a master of a system that works every single time? So, like I said, man, I brought the heaviness, I brought the sausage, and we just make everything more difficult than it needs to be. Break it down to the simple. Do step one before you go to step two. And that is just doing that ritualistic stuff. Thanks for letting me share, guys.
Always, always. You said something so important about how quickly we forget. I'm now plagiarizing you. I'm not saying specifically, but like, yeah, we've got to get right into action. We've got to get right into that system, and it makes life feel like you're in the flow. Actually, most of the time, once you're systematized. Of course, there are those terrible days, right? But most of the time, and yeah, for me personally, it's empowering. So thank you for that, Brad. Tony, I saw your mic opening.
Yeah, I would just say that, the important thing about them, by the way, I want to be more systems guy for the record. I don't want anybody to think that, oh my God, Tony's a systems guy. I'd like to, I guess we all have our own system, right? Whether we think we do or not, if there is a system to the madness, sometimes there's just more madness than there is system. But I think that, I really do need to systematize more, because the nice thing, and it's something you just said, Michelle, of course, there's some of those hard days. And on those hard days, that's when the system saves your ass, because you don't have to think about what to do next, right? The system is there. So, and granted, if you don't do the system, you kind of maybe feel guilty about it, but at least there's no doubt as to what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do. So do it. And until you do it, you don't do the next thing. So I think that systemization, as much, and I know it's super important, it's something that I really need to add more of into my life. And that's something that, and again, there is a system, just like I say all the time, that we talk about morning routine. People like, oh, I don't have a morning routine. Yeah, you do. It probably just sucks and it doesn't work for you. But we all have a routine, whether it's serving us or not is the question. But anyway, so I just thought I'd jump in there. And by the way, has anybody noticed that the microphone icon on our pictures is now freaking huge as of this morning, which I think is great, because it was always so difficult to see who was speaking, because the little gray line around our pictures is so small that if it's a big stage, I get dizzy just trying to find out who it is. Now at least we know it's the person that doesn't have that gigantic microphone.
And or it doesn't represent something that could mean something else, that we all have that. Just saying.
Yeah. And with that, I'm going to pass the mic straight on to Lee, because I know he is on a time constraint. Lee, the mic is yours.